Hello, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on October 2nd, 2024. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet, and welcome to the Daily Do, giving you your space weather update as well earthquakes, volcanoes, and world weather. Always starting out here looking at our amazing sun for the past 2 days, as we did report last night a strong X-class solar flare, 7.4 on the scale. Second strongest we've seen, coming into solar cycle 25, which will be a maximum. Having a look at the last 48 hours incoming, bright fiery region there, left-hand side, and as well incoming active fiery region. Shown earlier in the sun short if you haven't seen it yet, but we'll be showing it momentarily. Outgoing, some plasma filaments swirling around the surface. Going to be watching those to either destabilize or slap back into the surface. Looking at multi-spectrum X-class solar flare, you can see that bright flash. And as well, look at all the activity, the coronal hole region developing in the northern hemisphere. And as well, equatorial in the last few images. Plasma filaments, definitely keeping an eye on those, as they can create coronal mass ejections. Speaking of which, we do have a couple coronal mass ejections on their way from the Earth-facing X-class solar flare. 171 angstroms here. You can really see the heliosphere of our sun, all the plasma loops dancing around. Bright fiery region, 11 sunspots to observe here. And having a look at these sunspots in motion, you can see a few black spots there. That's from the X-class solar flare, sunspot region 3842. But looking on the left-hand side here, cresting into view, big black blob. That's a large sunspot region. That's probably the largest that I've seen cresting into view. Current space weather conditions, we are under R3. Strong radio blackout impacts expected. Wide area blackout of HF radio communications. Solar winds are coming in at 322 kilometers per second. That's right around average, between 250, 350. Solar X-ray flux reporting a couple more M-class solar flares after the large X and strong M. Solar proton flux is low. Geomagnetic activity is low for now, as we are expecting a solar storm tomorrow. From this incoming CME, Space Weather Prediction Center updating their models. Looks like we're expecting impact 4th into the 5th. October 4th will be our next geomagnetic event, but it's going to start tomorrow night with enhanced wind streams from coronal hole region that is Earth-facing. Nothing like what we've seen out of larger CMEs that are heading our way. But this is definitely going to make an impact 5th into the 6th. And then a watch for another one here. ISWA Space Prediction Spiral showing yet another one coming in behind the other. So 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Look up. You will be seeing some northern lights. Auroras as far south as South Dakota and Oregon. Having a look at the likelihood for tonight and tomorrow. Here's tonight, and then tomorrow's the big show. Alaska, all across Canada, northern United States and central, maybe even Ontario again. So look up, my friends and family. Hopefully it will be clear. It looks to be mostly clear right now. So stay tuned. Weather forecast is coming up. Having a look at LASCO 2, pointing out the last 2 days cosmic energy is leaving our sun. Bright star in the background there, that is Mercury heading around the backside of the sun. And here is showing all of the last 48 hours of coronal mass ejections. A couple of them there, Earth facing. Now let's get to earthquakes past 24 hours, as it looks kind of strange. Doesn't look like there's many earthquakes. There's definitely a deep one here. Fiji region, 539 kilometer depth. After seeing the 6.6 yesterday. Volcano Islands region, Marianas Trench, another deep one there. Philippines, Indonesia. 5.5 earthquake here. Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Quiet across the African plate and up into Europe. South American plate only reporting one there in Chile. Central America into the Caribbean. Activity coming back. Most of this activity, Port McNeill, 4.1 magnitude earthquake, Port McNeill, Canada, as well as 4.0 Avenel, California, along the coastline. No major swarms to talk about, but there's lots of activity building through Alaska, and as well lots of sulfur dioxide being emitted from the active and erupting volcanoes through the Aleutian Islands. 252 earthquakes in this map right now, USGS was reporting. Having a look across California, you can see all the most recent red dot earthquakes, as well Ferndale off the coast. Increasing minor seismicity here, Walker, California. And as well, still some peculiar action up into the Pacific Northwest, and as well Alaska. Big Nova Rupta volcano right around there. We do not want that thing to explode again. Active and erupting 68 volcanoes across the planet. Did a quick count. Stay tuned for the next volcanic activity report. We'll give you the full lowdown on all the active and erupting volcanoes across the planet. 68, I'm reporting now. That is the last 24 hours for earthquakes. Here's a quick look at the last 7 days for shakers around the world. Largest being the 6.6 yesterday in the Tonga region. Pretty strong earthquake there. Mauritius, South Indian Ocean, 6.1. Very quiet across Europe, Africa, and the South Atlantic plate right now. Most of this activity is in the north. North American plate. Heads up, everybody. Stay aware and prepared because we could see something coming here big. Big time. Large, 7.0 or greater. Now let's have a quick look at weather here, looking at satellite imagery. Still multiple tropical storms across the planet. As well, intense fires burning through Paraguay and Trinidad, Bolivia. Got a tropical system here. Tropical system off the coast. Big low pressure systems in the northern hemisphere right now and are forecast to get even bigger. Southeast Pacific Ocean, a couple cyclones off the coast of Mexico, also one south of Hawaii. And then we've got Typhoon Julian here, who is going to be making landfall tonight as a Category 3 hurricane or typhoon. Looking across the United States, looks like there's a couple fires burning here through Wyoming, close to Jackson and Sheridan. Nebraska and South Dakota, North Dakota getting smoked out by all those fires. Big area of interest over the Gulf of Mexico right now. That's why it's kind of shaded through the region. We'll let you know why, because there is a big tropical system developing. Having a look at SO2 forecast, this is a look at our air quality for the next little bit. Some big eruptions here towards Alaska. Strong SO2 content coming out of Mexico as well. Eastern Russia and Japan. Overlooking Southeast Asia and Australia. Big plume coming out of Tasmania, affecting southeast regions of Australia and as well New Zealand. And then Africa and South America. Big plumes, as you can see through Central America as well. There's got to be about a dozen volcanoes from Colombia northward to Mexico, active and erupting. And again, stay tuned as I will be giving out the volcanic activity report over the next couple days. Much love, everybody, and thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate all the love and comments and support. Now let's have a look at world weather here, brought to you by windy.com. Starting away with a big low pressure system developing through the Gulf of Mexico, as well a big one heading through the Hudson Bay region, going to bring some snow through northern Ontario, northern Manitoba, Alberta Clipper in the long range, and a big low pressure system in the long range going to bring a lot of rain to the BC coastline. Multiple tropical systems developing through the Atlantic. One of them could turn into a superstorm for the Atlantic provinces, looking at a very large low pressure system here, tight isobars, so very strong winds, and it looks like a lot of moisture as well. And if you look over the North Pacific forecast region, same time, just a massive low pressure system. Notable systems here moving through the West Pacific, overlooking Australia, Africa, and Asia. Low pressure system grinding through New Zealand, bringing a lot of rain for the next few days, as well as southern regions of Australia. No major typhoons developing until the long range, heading towards Japan. And then overlooking Europe, you guys have got quite a wild week of weather heading towards you. Low pressure system heading through the Mediterranean will bring hurricane conditions to some regions. Mediterranean hurricane, and then look at that big low pressure system grinding into Ireland, the United Kingdom, and then another one comes in just a couple days later. The deluge has begun. Stay aware and prepared. Stay young and have fun, and get your daily due. Bye-bye now. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends and family from across the world.